Sleep quality in the early 1900s depended on deliberate material choices and disciplined habits. You are stepping into a bedroom where every object served a purpose. Heat control, airflow, and body support shaped each decision. Watch these elements closely on screen as textures and layers come into view. Each choice influenced rest in measurable ways. Mattresses formed the foundation of sleep. Most households used fillings of horsehair, straw, or corn husks. These materials resisted collapse and pushed air through the bed with each movement. Firm resistance kept spines aligned. Horsehair held a special role. It sprang back after compression and resisted moisture. This prevented rot and odor. The mattress stayed dry through humid nights. Craftsmen packed hair tightly inside ticking. So straw mattresses served rural homes, Straw was replaced seasonally, which kept the bed fresh. The sharp stems locked together, creating a flat surface, and this discouraged sagging. Bedding layers added control rather than softness. Wool pads sat above the mattress, and wool regulated heat and wicked sweat away from skin. Cotton layers followed for separation. Each layer had a job. Feather beds appeared only after structure was set. Feathers never touched the sleeper directly. They rested above wool, and this trapped warmth without trapping moisture. Pillows matched the same logic, Most were stuffed with horsehair or wool. Feather pillows existed, yet they stayed firm due to tight ticking. Neck alignment really mattered back then. Pillows were usually narrow and flat. Bed frames lifted sleepers off those cold floors. Wood frames stood tall and rigid, just the way folks liked them. Ropes supported the mattress and could be tightened weakly, which, by the way, changed the firmness. Metal frames gained use in cities. Iron resisted insects and mold, which was a big improvement. Springs were rare early on, yet slats remained common. The height allowed air to move below the bed, and this reduced dampness. Sheets were, simple and functional. Linen really dominated because of its durability. It also stayed cool against the skin, which was a real plus. Cotton came along a bit later. Sheets were washed pretty often and, dried outdoors. Room setup mattered just as much as the bed itself. Beds were usually placed away from the walls. This helped prevent trapped moisture. Windows were kept cracked, even during the winter months. Cool air actually improved breathing. Walls had a big influence on sound and temperature. Plaster over lath did a good job of absorbing noise. Thick walls helped slow down heat loss. Bedrooms tended to stay pretty quiet. Floors were made of wood, covered with woven rugs. Those rugs helped insulate your feet and cut down on echo. Nighttime routines, they really reinforced these choices. Beds were aired every single day, and covers were folded back right after waking up. This simple habit helped release moisture. In the evenings, folks would wash up and change into fresh garments. Clean bodies meant that the bedding stayed clean, too. Lighting was always kept low before heading off to sleep. Oil lamps were dimmed, which limited stimulation and let your eyes adjust to the darkness naturally. Because of that, sleep would arrive a whole lot faster. Sound control came from the way things were built. Heavy doors and thick frames blocked out drafts and noise. Bedrooms stayed still and quiet, and that silence really supported deep rest. Smell was important, too. Bedding would absorb scents, so fresh air was let in to prevent any buildup. Sometimes folks would place herbs nearby, which signaled it was time to rest. Temperature management didn't rely on machines, but rather on using layers. So covers were added or removed, as needed. The room stayed cool while the body stayed warm. This balance, it reduced night waking. Discipline, really, kept the whole system working. Materials alone just failed without proper care. Modern sleepers, they can apply these lessons too. Firm support matters more than softness. Airflow, honestly, matters more than padding. Natural fibers, they manage heat better than synthetics. Raising the bed, it actually improves room health. You gotta allow air below and keep floors dry. This really does mirror historical practice. Layer bedding with purpose. Separate support, warmth, and softness, y'all. Each layer should breathe. And hey, avoid trapping heat. Ventilate the room. Cool air supports sleep depth. Silence supports recovery. These truths have not changed. The takeaway is clear. Sleep improved when choices were intentional. Structure, discipline, and materials work together. You can rebuild this system today. Start with the foundation. Adjust one element at a time. Subscribe to Warfield Prepper Chronicles for grounded history and practical carryover. Share this with anyone chasing better rest. Apply these methods tonight and feel the difference.